Hi, my name is Dr. Rayshawn Ray, aiming to speak truth to power, and this is my daily thought. I want you to indulge me for a second. Just close your eyes. And I want you to imagine that you're a parent and you wake up and you go in your kid's room and she's not there. You look around the house, she's not there. You call family members and friends, they haven't seen her. You call the school hasn't seen her. You file a missing persons report. And then imagine that the girl who you're filing a missing report for is black. And then I want you to imagine that what if all of the missing girls in DC were white? Why does race change our social scripts for what happens or what we think happened to that missing girl? And what should come next in terms of finding the kid? See, what happens is that when white kids are missing, the narrative is victimization or abduction. So in other words, it's something that has happened to them. Never really that they might have ran away. And then if they did run away, the narrative is still that we want them home. With black kids, the narrative is different. The narrative becomes, oh, they probably ran away from home, and they ran away from home for a reason. And this has two primary underlying themes. First is that black kids' homes and that their home lives are so dysfunctional, why wouldn't they leave? Second, it's implied who would take a black kid. So why would we be talking about abduction? Because no one really wants to abduct black children. Well, unfortunately, that's not true. Sex and human trafficking are things, and they affect all children and all individuals, mostly women and children. And instead, what this should highlight for us, and in fact, if you've seen the movie Get Out, this should highlight the skewed version that people have of black bodies. Now, the Washington, D.C. police chief, he said that the number of missing children or missing girls in D.C. is actually normal. And what is actually happening is that the police department is focusing on it more. And to his credit, he's a new police chief. So I think some of these protocols that he's putting in place is a very, very good idea. And he's not running away from the issue at all. The problem, though, is that missing black bodies become normalized as something that we shouldn't necessarily care about or as something that shouldn't bother us. Well, it actually bothers me. And what further bothers me is why it seems that white people don't care about missing black kids. We can look in at the DC town hall. There are missing kids, not missing black kids. These are just missing kids. But when we look at the demographics of people who are in the audience, individuals basically have one racial background, and that's black. If we look at pictures from Murfreesboro, Tennessee, which is my hometown, when children were arrested in school for not breaking up a fight that happened outside of school. These were elementary school students. When they had a town hall at First Baptist Church, which is actually the church that I got married in, there were only black people in the audience. There are pictures from other town halls where black kids are missing, where things have happened in impoverished communities, where things have happened in other types of communities that happen to be predominantly black. And when we look in the audience, there are only black people there. So this brings me back to my question, why don't white people care about missing kids? Because see, by not caring about missing black kids, then that suggests that you don't care about missing kids. See, when we think about laws, such as Amber Alerts, we have to ask ourselves, how often do we see Amber Alerts about children of different races, about children of different ethnicities? So when children are missing, it unfortunately comes with a racial caveat that falls back on our social scripts and our stereotypes about what it means to be missing and the value that people put on certain bodies, about whether or not they're worthy enough to even be something that we should actually want or desire. When historically, black bodies have always been something that have been used for chattel and have been used as property and have been and that have had a high premium placed on them. So when black children are missing, they are overlooked and unheard. And these missing black girls speak to something systemic. These missing black girls speak to failed schools, failed labor markets, failed institutional conditions to raise children. And what social media does, social media actually highlights the power of a collective identity. That the Say Her Name hashtag, that the missing DC girls hashtag carries weight, that it carries power. And because people are voicing their opinions on social media, this is the reason why people are focusing on it. I remember when I saw on social media that this broke, I was wondering how long it was going to take for mainstream media to pick it up. Well, individuals on Twitter and Facebook made it go viral, and the media had to pay attention to it. So social media continues to be a way that individuals, through a form of collective identity, collective expression through hashtags, can actually voice dissent and can actually sway and direct public opinion and direct what we see on TV. And I think that's powerful. So again, if you hear about a child missing, it shouldn't matter what race the child is. What should happen is that we should all care. We should all empathize to try to get those children home. And unfortunately, that happens far too little for Black kids. So as always, conversations matter like Black lives and books, and I hope this has sparked one.